Hi everyone. In the immunology subject, now we are going to discuss about another important topic called antigen antibody reactions or immunoassays. So how can we define this immunoassays? So immunoassays are a kind of biomolecular interactions between antigen and its specific antibody is going to be referred as immunoassays or antigen antibody reactions. So it's a type of biomolecular interactions. Then what are the uses of knowing these antigen antibody reactions? The high specificity of an antigen-antibody interactions has led to the development of a variety of immunological assays. And these assays can be used to detect the presence of either antibody or antigen. And as I told you, these are going to be of very important or prominent in the diagnosis of diseases. That means whether to find out which pathogen is present and what kind of the disease is there. So in that reason, this antigen antibody reaction is very important. And then monitoring the level of humoral immune response, whether they are having the proper humoral, that is antibody mediated immune response or not, that can be monitored. And then identifying the molecules of biological or medical interest. So these are the major prominent things that we are going to have because of this antigen antibody reactions. Then moving to the stages in antigen antibody reactions. So the reactions between the antigens and antibodies occur in three stages. How many stages? Three stages. The first stage is initial interaction between the antigen and the antibody, and in this stage we don't have any visible effect. And this primary infection or the reaction can be detected by estimating the free and bound antigen or antibody separately in the reaction mixture by several physical or chemical methods. Okay, so next, the first stage usually leads to the second stage, and in the second stage we are going to have a demonstrable events. That means we can see the precipitation, agglutination, lysis of cells, killing of live antigens, neutralization. So these are all going to be the demonstrable events that are occurring in the second stage. That means whatever the type of reactions that we are seeing, all are going to be the result of second stage. And that coming to the third stage. The third stage reaction includes humoral immunity against infectious diseases as well as the clinical allergy and other immunological diseases. So totally we are going to have the three stages in the reaction between the antigen and antibodies. First stage, second stage, and the third stage. Okay. Now moving to the principles of antigen antibody reactions. Listen very carefully because this is going to be the common for agglutination and the precipitation type of reactions. So coming to the principles of antigen antibody reactions, these are going to obey some general principles while they are having the reaction or interaction. So the first one, the reaction is specific. That means a specific antigen will combine with a specific antibody, that is homologous antibody, and vice versa. However, sometimes cross reactions may also occur. Then, during the interactions, whole molecules, not in fragments, react with each other. That means the whole molecule is going to participate in the reaction. Then, denaturation of either antigen or antibody does not occur during the reaction. The first one, it should be specific. That means they should possess the specificity. Then the whole molecules are involved. Then they are not going to have any denaturation during the reaction. Then antigen antibody combinations occurs at the surface level. That means the surface antigen that are immunologically relevant, and the combination is firm but it can be of a reversible. Both antigens and antibodies participate in the formation of agglutinates or precipitates. Now these antigen and antibodies can combine in varying proportions. So they may have more in number or these may have more in number. So varying proportions are required in having this antigen antibody interactions. Then coming to the mechanism of antigen antibody reactions. Obviously, the Mark in the year 1934 proposed a theory or hypothesis called as lattice hypothesis to explain the mechanism of antigen-antibody reaction. So, the antigen-antibody mechanism was named as lattice hypothesis by Mr. Mark in the year 1934. According to his type hypothesis, that is Mark hypothesis or lattice hypothesis, multivalent agents combine with bivalent antibodies. That means we know that antigen is going to have a multivalent, that means more epitopes are there, and our antibody is a bivalent, that means it is having the two sides to bind with the antigen in varying proportions. So depending upon the antigen antibody ratio in the reaction mixture, lattice formation is going to occur. So see here is antibodies which are having the two bivalent things, and the antigen is going to have the multivalent. Here we have taken only the bivalent antigen 2. The precipitation and agglutination results when a large lattice is formed consisting of alternate antigen and antibody molecules. So here you can see the alternate antibody, antigen, antibody, antigen, and those are all going to form in a complex like structure, and this is going to be called as lattice formation. Okay, so that's how Mark proposed hypothesis is called as lattice hypothesis. Then, and this lattice hypothesis formation is going to be possible only when the zone of equivalence. What is meant by zone of equivalence? The equal ratio of antigens and antibody is going to be possible. That means if the zones of antigen antibody excess or antigen excess may not lead this to hypothesis. So there should be the equal ratio. Okay. So that zone where they are going to have the equal ratios of both antigen and antibodies and forming a lattice hypothesis called as zone of equivalence. So let's see this in detail now. And that phenomena is going to be called as zone phenomena. If the same amount of antibody or antisera in a series of test tubes, increasing quantities of antigens are added. For example, consider these are the three test tubes, and we are going to have the increased concentration of either the antibodies or antigen, whatever. So here we are going to take the increased level of antigens, okay, or increasing quantities of antigens are added. Now the antigen reaction, that is antigen antibody reaction, occurs best in one of the middle tubes. Why? Because it is going to have the equal concentrations of both antigen and antibody. And this zone is going to be called as zone of equivalence. In the initial tubes where antibody is excess, the precipitation or agglutination, that is antigen antibody reactions, will be absent. So you can't see the reaction here. And this zone is called as prozone. We call this as prozone. And then prozone is of importance in clinical serology, as sometimes sera rich in antibody may give a false negative. Okay. Then the latter tube, there is a second tube where antigen is excess, the precipitation agglutination will be absent. So here you can see where more quantity of antigen is there. So this zone is called as post zone. So zone of excess antigen. So this is going to be called as a post zone. If the amounts of antigen antibody complex in different tubes are plotted on a graph, so we are going to have a graph like this. The resulting curve is going to possess three phases: an ascending zone called as prozone, and the zone of antibody excess is going to be the descending zone or zone of antigen excess, and in between you are going to have this region called as zone of equivalence, a peak. Okay, so this is an ascending zone, and zone of peak where the zone of equivalence is there, both the antigens and antibodies are equal. And then you are going to have the that is a descending zone or zone of antigen excess. So this is a mechanism that was proposed by Mr. Mark and explaining about hypothesis called as lattice hypothesis. We are having the different types of antigen-antibody reactions like precipitation, agglutination, complement fixation test, neutralization, then coming to the labeled antibody assays, all these things. Out of all these things, the precipitation and agglutination reactions are mainly participating in this phenomena, that is zone phenomena, which we will discuss in the coming parts. Okay, thank you.